I'm Ian, this is my wife Joan, and I had a stroke in July last year now, and I was out at the back there thinning out the little baby apples on the apple tree. My wife came out, Joan came out, and she thought I'd been affected by the sun for a while because it was a very hot afternoon. And then she realised felt quickly that it wasn't that, and she got the ambulance round. I remember feeling so relieved when these two chaps, or a chap and a girl, I can't remember now, you felt, oh goodness me, I've got some medics, you know, looking after me. It's a huge relief. The only thing I remember in A&E was a doctor or somebody kept asking me what my date of birth was. That was to make sure I hadn't gone completely gaga, I suppose. But I don't really remember what happened, and then I suppose I started to realise, or come to a bit, when I was in the ward in hospital.
If you're a wife and you've seen your husband just into hospital, not being involved, but emotionally you are, you come home and suddenly there's nobody there, and Ian's wallet was on his chest of drawers, and I remember just leaning on the chest of drawers and saying, you've got to come through this, you've got to come through this.
I couldn't balance, I couldn't move around really, because, you know, if I moved, or even if I talked to people for any length of time, I'd start feeling sick and dizzy. The ward was noisy, yes. I mean, people were doing what they had to do, obviously, and the treatment I had was excellent. I mean, you couldn't fault that. But as I say, you know, there were constantly people taking your blood pressure, giving you pills, coming round seeing what you wanted for lunch, washing you, and then all the machines which needed attention, or somebody was calling the nurse, for beep, beep, beeping all day long. It drove me nuts after a few days, actually. I say gradually I started feeling more and more with it. It was a bit of a game to sit up and that sort of thing, but they helped me. Staff were super. And then the physio girls took over, got me walking up and down the ward.
It was a shuffle.
Well, okay, I didn't know that. I thought I was striding out.
Yeah. No, darling, it's a shuffle.
And you know, I just progressed from there, and the doctor, I think it was, or the consultant, came and saw me and said, oh, they're going to move me over to Bideford, which I very strongly objected to for several reasons. One was I knew I had a perfectly good home here, a very nice home here, which was fine for somebody like me with a stroke, you know, the sort of stroke I had. Also, I didn't want Joan to have to keep driving to Bideford to see me, which I knew she would. Yeah. And also released a bed for you, which was, I thought, a good thing.
I've been working in stroke services for nearly 10 years, and in that time patients would stay on the ward for all of their rehab. That rehab would take 16, 18 weeks. Sometimes we'd have patients from early on right until they went home. Early supported discharge, we take patients home as soon as they're medically stable and in a situation where they have support services to go out. So Ian was able to get home as quickly as he did by the fact that we were able to go out and see him immediately. We went out within the first 24 hours that he was at home, and from there straight away started addressing the needs that he had to be safe, but also to start recovering from the stroke and to give him and his family particularly this emotional support that they needed after something that is a life-changing event for them.
Came home and you came round and we had little exercises out here and in the kitchen, and walking me down the stairs and stopping me from falling in the pool and all sorts of things. And then you had your classes, which I came to, and they were excellent, I thought.
Vista is our exercise and self-management programme. It runs for 12 weeks. All of our patients are offered the opportunity to come to Vista. Balancing
exercises and machines, cycling machines and walking machines. I felt a lot fitter as a result.
It's about getting them into exercise, it's about looking at the longer term for them, the things that they can do in their own lives to prevent them having a second stroke, having another stroke, and looking at the lifestyle changes they may need to make, whether that be smoking or dietary. We have speakers that come in on all of those topics, and it's something that we work on with them throughout the 12 weeks. Also prompting them and promoting them to move on to what they would like to do after Vista.
We try and walk every day, but the weather's been so ghastly we haven't been able to get out for quite a while. Not every day, but every week we get out. But him coming home was really, really marvellous, but we couldn't have done it without all of the physio.
From a commissioning perspective, I am really pleased at the positive impact that the early supported discharge and Vista services have had since their introduction. Patients have seen a 28% increase in walking speed after 12 weeks of Vista, and nearly a quarter of them have seen an improvement in overall physical well-being. The length of stay in hospital has fallen by 6 days, and 13% more patients return home now directly.
To be able to have the situation of taking people into their own homes and seeing how important that is to them, and the difference that it makes to them is for us as a team working with them is just, it's a thrill to be able to feel that you're making a difference to people's lives.
End of story, I suppose. Here I am, and I can only thank everybody enough, and particularly you, for getting me active and my balance and things back again.
I'm looking forward to the summer when we can both get out there and get on with it.
Yeah.
Because we missed out last summer in that beautiful weather.